Okay, now in this video we are going to do experiment 6B, part A on DC motor. This is the machine that we are going to do the experiment on, and we are going to see if you remember that one of the problems with motors is that they might have a very high starting current, or because we also call it as inrush current. So in this experiment we are going to check on that, and also we are going to look at the solution, which is by using a starting resistor. We are going to introduce a starting resistor, and we are going to see what is the effect of introducing this starting resistor to the starting current. Okay, now before we start the experiment, I will introduce to you the equipment and the devices that we are going to use in the experiment. Starting with is the control unit, which is connected to this machine here with the magnetic powder braking system. The idea is so that we can adjust the load that we apply to the motor. However, for this particular experiment, we are not really going to use it. So I will just keep it off, keep it switched off. Okay, and then we have this. This is the motor itself, the DC shunt motor. Okay, that we are going to test for this experiment. Then we have this variable resistor that we are going to use as the starting resistor, and then we will use two different values, which is the minimum is 0 ohms is to simulate that we are not using any starting resistor. Then for the other side or the other condition, we are going to set it as 47 ohm, which is the maximum, and then we are going to see the effect on the to the starting current of this motor. Then we have this as a DC supply, DC voltage supply, supplying the voltage to our motor. The output is, there are two outputs here, but we are going to use the upper output, which has a constant output. This is 210 volt. The bottom one is variable, adjustable, but the top one is fixed at 210 volt. And we are going to use the top one for this experiment. Then finally we have these two meters. One is the digital multimeter. We are going to use this to measure the armature voltage, the voltage applied to the terminal of this motor. And finally, we've got this analog multimeter. This is the analog multimeter. We are going to use it to measure the peak or the maximum starting current when we switch on the motor. The reason why we are using this analog is because this inrush current happens very quickly. It goes to the maximum and then starts to reduce. So it's reached the maximum for a very short time. If we use a digital meter like this, we will not be able to catch what is the maximum. With this one, we have a better chance, although still it's not going to be the accurate maximum starting current, but what we can get is a lot better compared to if we use the digital one. We will not have any chance to get the peak starting current at all. Okay, now if you look at the procedure section in the manual, Experiment 6B Part A. Step 1. Copy the following detailed information from the ratings label of the DC shunt wound machine, which apply when operated as a shunt wound motor. So let me try to show you the label. So that's the label. Hopefully you can read it. And now connect the machine without starter according to circuit diagram in figure 2.1. So all the connections have been done. Now because it says without starter, so what I'm going to do is I will set the starter to 0, which is already 0. Set 3 is just about making sure that the settings for the control unit is given there, which we don't really need to bother for this because I'm not going to use it. We are just going to switch on in the motor, switch on and off the motor without applying a fixed load to it. Okay, number 4 also we can skip in terms of the setting of the torque or the load. So now we want to measure the starting current and the armature voltage. Okay, now I will switch on the power. And this is the switch for the DC power supply. So I can switch it on. Okay, now you can look at the readings both from the analog meter for the current and the digital multimeter, this one here, for the armature voltage reading. Then I can switch it on and off. You can see on the right hand side the analog meter, the indicator goes to the maximum, then it goes back to 0. It goes to the maximum, meaning that we are not using the right setting. Currently you can see this is the setting. It sets at 3 amps, and the indicator goes to the maximum, which means that the current actually went above 3 amps. So now I change the setting to 10 amps maximum. And then if you look at the scales here, we've got 2 scales. One is the bottom one from 0 to 3, and the other one is the top one from 0 to 10. So which scale we use depends on the setting. If you're using 10 amps, then we use the top one, for example. If you use 30 amps setting here, then we have to use the bottom scales. And then we multiply it by 10. Okay, so now again I'm going to start the motor again and see what is the maximum current that you can read from the analog meter. Okay, can you see this indicator? Let's go to around here. So I'm going to repeat the test a few times, and then you can decide what is the maximum starting current that you can get from the reading. It's 1. that's the second reading, and then that's the third one. Okay, so I'll leave it to you to get what is the maximum reading that you could get from the scale there. Okay, and then for the armature voltage, then we will let it run for a bit, and then you can get the value from this reading here. Okay, so that's the first part of the test done. Now we are going to change the starting resistor. So I'm going to change the starting resistor, which is here. Okay. So I'm going to change it to 47 ohm, which is the maximum. Okay, now let's go back to the reading again. The readings on the meter. Okay, now if I start, remember now we've got the starting resistors of 47 ohm. So if I press on the power button to start it. Okay, now if you look at the analog meter, the indicator only moves a little bit. So it means that we can change the setting to a lower current. So now instead of, it was here before 10 amps, now I set it to 3 amps. Okay, now I'll do it again. Okay, now the indicator went to the middle of the scale, which is good. So I will do it 3 times, and then you can take the maximum reading that you can get from this meter. Okay, it was the first one, second, and third. Okay, try your best to get what is the maximum current that you can get from the 3 readings, right? And then for the armature voltage, I will switch it on and keep it running for a bit, and then you can get the reading from this meter here. Okay, now so part A of experiment 6B is done. Now you can do the analysis and answer the questions given in section 5.